The greatness of hybrid anime. Mahou Sensou. Episode 2, y'all. Yeah. Number 3. There's 3 things I gotta say before I begin this review. Number 1, yes, the episode did come out on Thursday. Yes. Number 2, so yeah, go check that out. Number 2, like, yo, this anime here, man. This anime takes like the best of so much and jam packs it. Like I already said in last week's review, episode 1 review, right? I had mentioned how it was like sort of strike the blood meets blade. Bleach. God, strike the blood meets bleach. That's what happened when you watch so much different crap. Anyways, strike the blood meets bleach, and what I meant by that is the concept of the magic in the school life was kind of similar to strike the blood, but the fight scene would be something you might see out of Bleach. I'm not a Bleach fan, but from what I've observed a bit, it reminded me of that. Now, add on to the fact we didn't really see Bleach elements in this. A bit strike the blood, not much, but we did see some Hunter x Hunter elements up in here. We saw some. Oh yeah, and I did mention a bit with Naruto and the eye techniques. More of that eye action, and we saw some uniqueness from, this whole magical warfare. Okay, Mahou Sensou. So, and was there anything else? Those were many things I caught in this time. A lot of Hunter x Hunter, and some. Oh, and also of course Magi laughing from Magic, who's reminding me a lot with Magi too. So yeah, I've loved the hybrid. Okay, with these new school anime. It's hard to be original, but why not combine some of the best elements of some stuff that everybody loves? Okay, even though I'm not really an author fan, there was the whole eye concept. Sweet, love it, love that thing. So yeah, man. Now, number 3, there was a boatload of it. This information, like, there was so much information to it. It was a kind of episode. At points it was slow, you could say, where, there wasn't really any action. There was a little bit of a training, you could say, scene, but not pretty much no action. There was a bunch of explanation, and a lot of people weren't into this. I tell you, a lot of these new anime fans, well, I wouldn't necessarily, I'm new, but a lot of anime fans that they can't stand is because it was something, because it was just that, not much was really going on, you could say. But fortunately, I'm not like that. This episode, the magnitude, the importance, like, they just kept hitting us with more and more info. And not just explanation of the world. The world building in this episode is off the charts. Characterization, yeah, we got that. Character development is there. Plot progression, it was weird. It was because they did some flashback and they did a lot of things. Like, it wasn't plot progression, but there was still a lot of plot progression. It was one of the things, like, it wasn't your normal lot of plot progression, but there was a lot of plot progression with the way, because of the way it was handled, okay? Because there was a lot of introduction of elements. So we were just immersed, like, we were, our foot was in the water already, and we just got pushed in. We just got pushed into this world. Like, even the start of the episode, the ruined world, okay? The whole thing, like, oh my goodness, I just love it. I love when the information episodes or chapters or however whatever the medium is, when it's done properly, not just giving it for but it to understanding. So it made it really unique. Alright, starting off, we enter into the ruined world, and how it's broken down was actually quite ingenious, because we trace it back, anyways, let me break it down to characters. Let me just start there and continue on. We have, the main dude is Takashi, okay? Then we have Mui Aiba. She is the magician that kind of got them all pulled up into this, including Takashi. Then you have Takashi's boy, his homeboy, his homie, Ida. And then we have Takashi's kind of girlfriend, Iso Shima. Now, in being so, I didn't catch the nurse name, but that's regardless. We see the academy director. She breaks down everything for us for the most part. Shijo, I believe it was Shinjo, something along those lines. Yeah, she was bringing the blondie, the skinny blonde. She was breaking things down. We also got Geiko, however you want to say it. Takashi's brother, I believe, and he was kind of pissed off that Takashi left. So there's something behind that I'm not sure. And then he was transferring out or something nonsense like that. Then we got at the end of the episode, V, the hooded female that has the blonde hair, got a pretty face or whatever. And I think she said Kipe. I think he was the same dude with the glasses that was above that kind of dead body in the room world that we saw earlier on, just floating there. So yeah, those were the main players. The introduction of the names and everything. Now, the episode starts off, explanation of the room world. What's left is Tokyo. What happened was 16 years ago, and in 1999. So I guess right now in that story timeline is 2015. Okay, and I'm guessing a lot of these most of these are 15. Because they said a year before y'all were born, so they're 15. Cool. At least Takashi is. Anyways, makes sense. First year high school student. Cool. There was a great magic war. Okay, great war of magic, and these different factions or whatever were warring and whatnot. And it was this one dude. He rose up and he used this spell, Last Requiem. And he was going to just wreck the whole world and replace so magicians. It would just be a world full of magicians. And I think that's what Kipe, I'm guessing that Kipe, the same dude, he mentioned that. So anyways, just a world full of magicians going to use this last Requiem, wipe all the humans, right? But then 15 great magicians rose up from different communities, which is an interesting concept. I'll get to that a bit later. So 15 different great magicians stopped him. They don't know where he's at. So he's MIA. Okay, some think he's asleep, some think he's dead. Who knows? Then from there, so the world's, one dude. How did it work out? I think they stopped the 15 that stopped it. Split the world. Okay, split the world from the living world, as the magicians call it, the normal human world. And what's happening is it's just continually degrading the ruined world, and all that's left is some part of Tokyo or something along those lines. And so I love that world building right there. Then we go on from there, because one part of it, you have this wise man. So he's like the greatest magician of all. So we got the lore. I always love the lore. So this wise man, he developed this, he did this spell called the Gift. So, because a pact was made, like, the magicians, we can only war in the ruined world. We're not warring in the living world / human world. We're warring in the magician world. So the Gift limits the use of magic. Everyday kind of use of magic, cool. Everyday magic, cool. But ancestral magic, like the special type of magic, what you are, you can't use that in the living world. And the Gift limits that. Like, if you do that, you done it. You done it. I'm still not sure if you die or you just lose your magic ability. I didn't get that explanation quite well. But they did say, the Academy Director did say the people who were chasing them, the ghost trails that were on the trail of Takashi and all them, they're, Moi, I should say, or they were captured. Anyways, so she also broke down different communities. Now, what the communities are concerned, one thing before that I'll mention, when they were healing, I found this very interesting. Magic, you can heal, and Takshi's like, you can heal with magic, and the nurse lady's like, yeah, sure you can, but it's not like, how people say, magic energy's gone down and it didn't work. Like, it moves more rapidly, like the healing process moves more rapidly, because the insect, like the kind of bee that was used, needed to be healed. But you still gotta go through the natural process. So I'm guessing if you have a fatal wound, it's a fatal wound. Right? That's what I'm guessing from, which is very nice. So it sets limits. Cool. So you're still gonna feel the pain and everything, as we saw from Isoshima in the office or whatever when they were first meeting Sensou. But besides that, with the communities, I found very interesting. Like in the school, because they're in a Subaru Academy, Magic Academy or something along those lines. And within that school is Wizard's Brace, I believe that's the community. And then there's the Ghost Trailers, but we didn't get an explanation of the other communities. And something I caught that Moy said, she said, Takashi, don't commit to no community until you know way more. You got time, bro. Because I'm guessing, like, because apparently Wizard's Brace wants harmony with the humans and the magicians. Ghost Trailer ain't about that. They want that magician. So that's why I said it reminds me of Magno style. How if you know Magi alignments of magic, there's the Magno style, and how Magoma used to be, and then what led to that whole war. So he was like magicians separate from Goi, which were the humans at the time. But anyways, that's the illusion I thought of. With that, the different communities, very interesting, very interesting. I found that fascinating. And she said, so between the wisdom and the Wizard's Brace and the Ghost Trailers, there's other communities that are kind of in between them, but most of them, pretty much everyone sides with Wisdom's Brace and that kind of harmony thing, which makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Now, not only that, like I said, there was a lot of info, but one of the other important things was finding out the different classifications of magic, which I thought was very interesting when they brought it up, because we already saw through. So I'm like, how many magic? And here's where Hunter x Hunter. Y'all know, if you know Hunter x Hunter, especially if you're watching Hunter x Hunter 2011, there is a whole name classification. There are 6 classifications. There are 6 classifications in that, so different from then, but reminded me of. In this case, the 6 classifications are evasion magic, illusion magic, destruction magic, black magic, acceleration magic, and corporal magic. Now, with illusion magic, evasion magic, that's Takashi. As we saw this whole sword training thing he did when he had to get his aspect. And that's another thing. Aspects, those are your materials which help to be animate the medium, you could say, of releasing your magic power. I guess more control and quicker usage. You know how in the classical things the wands, but yeah, you saw Ida, he had a ring. Isoshima had this like necklace thing, and Takashi had to go get his. And we see Moi Ida's kind of gun thing. But anyways, Takashi's an evasion magic, and that's pretty simple. But with them, he uses his eye thing, like he can foresee the no ability, like he has precognition, so he's heavily invasive, which fits perfectly with his kendo style fighting us when we saw that. And his weapon, I have to mention, his weapon is badass. Like, it's a sword, yo, but it can turn, it's like a gun sword, and freaking, but he can use cartridges with bullets of different other users magic. Like, come on, man, that's some OP weapon right there. That's a badass weapon, straight up. Like, yo, come on, I need that kind of stuff in my life. But anyways, I can talk more on that. With that whole thing, I mean, use his ability, he got one, but a former user, evasion, like, it was, that whole scene was just excellently done. We met, Kato, aka Pops, that, yeah, how can I forget, the dude had a scar, so is he a veteran of the war magic? I don't know, but the former user is in the human war. I guess she gave up her magic, so she was apparently one of the 15 that fought to save the world. So cool stuff, cool stuff. But Takashi's an evasion magic user. We haven't yet to see an illusion magic user, but I'm pretty sure it's coming soon. We have destruction magic. That's Ida. We already see when Takashi and Moi came back from the shop with Takashi's new aspect / blade. The class of hell. first year. You know, it's where all the kind of rejects go. It's like the retard class. I'm sorry, that's what it is. I'm not talking about special education, the retard class, literally the retard class. But yeah, very obviously destructive magic. I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. He's a fire guy. What else? The black magic. We have yet to see that as well. And we're very, very interested to see about that. I think that Kaipe, he might be that, and maybe Moi's brother. Maybe. No. I think he was said to be. Was he said to be invasion? I think he was said to be invasion. So maybe swordsman or more invasion. But then we have acceleration magic. Now I was not expecting this, cause I was wondering, and then this applies to Moi Ivo, cause I was wondering what the heck jazz with that acceleration magic. We need more explanation around it. That one needs no. You could say Charlie, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some more crazy junk with that, cause that don't make any kind of sense from magic. Like it makes sense, but it doesn't. Like, I get the rest, but then, don't want to lean too on that. Then you have corporal, or I guess you say conjuring stuff, and we see that with Isoshima. So that would all that is actually just beautifully done. And what else? Oh yeah, Moi Ivo. Apparently she's advanced, like she's well learned and whatever, but she got booted back for discipline. She got booted back with Takashi and the rest of his crew because of disciplinary reason. Because he's like, yo, academy director's like, you gotta be punished. You can't just be going off school grounds. It's a battlefield. It's battlegrounds out there. Like, yo, you can't do that. There's a reason you stay in school. So that was well done. It means they can come up. And yeah, what else more? That whole mob. And another thing with Hunter x Hunter that ended though with the car and everything. Y'all know, if you know Hunter x Hunter, the New City arc, Kurapika's mob affiliation. Yeah, that whole vibe. That's what I kind of got. But I want to know more about this V character. And there's plenty more. Anything else? Because like I said, there was a lot of information. I don't want to be missing anything. But that's the gist of it. Like, so overall, I'm going with a 10 out of 10. Like for at first I'm thinking 9.5. Then as it went on, 10 out of 10. This was a perfect episode. Like literally, this episode, the world building in this episode was tremendous. You had characterization. You had character development. Oh, and one of the things I will add, like they were Takashi, Ida, and Isoshima were asked they had a choice to make, whether stay at the academy and learn, be in the world of magicians, or give up your magical capabilities and turn to living world. Takashi thinks about it a bit, then he joins, and then Ida goes with homeboy Takashi after even less stuff. Isoshima reluctantly accepts, but I thought that was very nice, and hopefully they'll get a couple people, the other couple types, kind of how in Bakugan we have the 6 attributes, yeah, kind of how they do it. But yeah, the world building was there, the characterization, character development there, not boatloads, but it was their plot progression, strangely a bunch. Weird, like in a strange way, it was a bunch of it, even though it didn't seem like it in a normal sense. What else? Like, we got explanation, like, we got introduced to some great characters. Not gonna lie, there was some great character introduction, and yeah, man, there was a lot to love about this episode, and like, there's so much potential for this world, and that's all I'm saying. Like, beyond just a world, but like, just the potential. We talking warfare. We're talking bodies. I mean, when you have a whole just the landscape just ruined, like, yo, what the mess? We get a flashback where the whole world was about to be wrecked, man. A great magic war, only 15 years ago. Like, come on, man. Come on. Oh, and one last thing I had to remember, the bloodlines. I know that's gonna be coming play, because Moi Ibo, her and her brother, bloodlines. Both their, the father and mother of them were magicians. So it's pure bloodlines. She mentioned that about the communities. That community aspect, like, there was so many great different aspects. There were about at least 5-6 different aspects were just excellent. So yeah, this was a perfect episode. Unexpected one. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this episode. Again, if you are not into Mahou Sensou, I highly recommend this. I wouldn't be reviewing it if it was not the bomb. And yeah, till next time. Peace.